In times like these, I think to myself, there is a light. There is a reason. And for Vancouver Canucks fans, I wanted to talk about that light today. Because yes, it's true, the previous YouTube video on this channel, if I got everything scheduled properly, was a video talking about Canucks forward Elias Pettersson and the idea as to whether or not he actually cares about hockey as much as he should. But that's neither here nor there. That's the previous video, you could go ahead and check it out, it's on the channel. In this video, though, I wanted to dive into the positive. Because believe me, there are positives to this situation. It's a weird energy shift that we have seen with the Vancouver Canucks ever since the trade deadline had come and gone. Ever since the departure of JT Miller last year, the departure of Quinn Hughes in December, and then the inevitable departures of Kiefer Sherwood, Tyler Myers, and I guess David Kampf. Okay, no, not David Kampf. That guy didn't really matter, to be honest. Lucas Reichel? No, not him. Connor Garland. That's who I'm missing. Right. The big dogs getting moved. Sherwood, Garland, Myers, Hughes have had a really interesting impact on the way the Canucks seem to be. For one, even in the games where they're getting absolutely destroyed, there still is this sort of vibe around the team that feels a lot more positive and a lot more open to learning. Even if they are still last place in the National Hockey League, the Canucks still have these moments where they score some goals, their guys look happy. Heck, we mentioned this a few nights ago, but in the last-minute Filip Hronek tying goal that occurred versus the Nashville Predators, the goal celly, the guys all hugging, cheering, yelling at the top of their lungs with joy, that's something we haven't seen with this team in a while. And I know it's like, oh, well, it's not every day they go out there and score a last-second intense game-tying goal at home. Yeah, that's true. It's not every day. But the fact that it did happen, and the fact that there was unrefutable evidence that for at least a moment, the Vancouver Canucks were enjoying their time, it does mean a lot. And with that said, I wanted to refer to another piece of commentary made by Rick Dhaliwal on Friday's Halford and Bruff on the 20th. This was summarized by Canucks News Summaries on Twitter, so big shout out over to Canucks News Summaries. They always deliver the scoop, they're always on top of things, and their work is very much appreciated. This is the same post as well, where Rick Dhaliwal talks about Pettersson not loving hockey as much as he should. But take a look at what Dhaliwal says about the attitude within the Canucks dressing room. Since the trade deadline, it's been a much better place. A lot of the young kids are really helping to make it better. Willander, Buium, Ogren, D. Petey. Trading players that want out improves the culture. Cough, cough, Quinn Hughes. Brock Boeser is doing all the right things on and off the ice. He is well-liked, he wants to stay, and he wants to make it a better place. Kevin Lankinen has said he doesn't want out. He wants to stay and help the team get better. Dhaliwal says the Canucks have had the worst dressing room in the NHL over the last 2 seasons. And then he mentions Filip Hronek and Teddy Blueger want to stay as well. Hey, if DeBrusk wants to go, get rid of him. The funny part is, I don't think it's really evident to say that all the guys that didn't want to stay got traded. I think that blanket statement is a little bit too broad and, quite frankly, inaccurate. Tyler Myers, for example, didn't really want to leave. The guy's a well-respected veteran leader, and we all understand the value that he can provide as a right-handed D-man who's big, he can block shots, and he's actually stabilized his game pretty well over the past few years. He got traded not because he wanted out, but because he just was valuable enough to get traded. The other guys that couldn't get traded, the Evander Kanes, the Teddy Bluegers, it just so happens to be a coincidence that Blueger happens to like Vancouver, and it seems like the Canucks like him as well. But some of these other veteran guys that are still committed and still willing to be Vancouver Canucks through the thick of it, through these dire times, I'm not surprised Brock Boeser wants to be a Canuck. Kevin Lankinen, I'm not really surprised either. Like, just from my personal observation, the guy won an Olympic bronze medal by just showing up and being a puck target at practice. The guy didn't play a single second of actual Olympic game time, which might be why he was the most smiley guy of the bunch amongst the Finnish team when they were taking their photos with the bronze medal. The guy just had a wide-toothed smile, and he was like, yeah, hey, guess what? I got a medal. That's amazing. Kevin Lankinen, I'm not going to go out there and disrespect the guy. He's an Olympian. He's got a bronze medal. That's more than I'll ever get in my lifetime. But hearing that Lankinen is okay with being on a team that's pretty bad, as long as he's in a nice city, as long as he's getting paid, both of these things will be true. He seems like a pretty cool dude, honestly. Like, not super uptight about wanting to win, and he knows his value when he wants to be the guy for a championship caliber team. Like, that might be true in some sense. I'd say that most pro athletes have to have that sort of a desire at some point in their lives if they want to make it to the next level, but it's not like Quinn Hughes level, where it's like, oh yeah, well, I'm rotting here in Vancouver. I'm so good, and these guys are terrible. I'm going to play bad, and I'm going to show that I want out, and then I'm going to get traded to a team that I want to go to, and then I'm going to sign there. It's not the same with Kevin Lankinen. Meanwhile, Teddy Bluger and Filip Hronek, these guys also, these European dudes, seem like they're pretty open to the idea of sticking around in Vancouver, cultivating the next generation of Canucks. They're not particularly young, but just understanding that the way Vancouver wants to build their team, they might have no choice but to go through a 4 or 5 year rebuild. For Hronek to go out there as a primed member of this team, who could potentially get the captaincy, who really knows? He would be a pretty cool representative of the team from the standpoint of he just really doesn't give a crap or take a crap when it comes to talking to the media. Like, he doesn't get overly sentimental about things. By all accounts, it seems like he's a great leader in the locker room and on the ice. But you hear some of the things that this guy says when he gets interviewed. They're like, oh, how are you feeling about all the rumors and what Rutherford is saying? He's like, I don't pay attention to that. I don't know. Like with Quinn Hughes, there was always some sort of a defense. It's like, oh, I try not to look at the rumors. I know it's not good for me. I just try to focus on my game. I focus on this. I focus on that. Whatever happens will happen. And there's like a really big blanket, I guess, that tries to cover that fire. Filip Hronek is like, yeah, I'm just going to walk out of the room. What trade rumors? I don't know. Like, the way he shuts down potential narratives in the media is so masterful that I do think that element of bluntness and brashness could actually pay off as the captain of a rebuilding team in a Canadian market. And besides that, looking at the guys that are still here, the young guys that will make the team better, I mean, having a locker room where they are all growing and getting better together, and then you add on whomever it is comes over in the draft this upcoming June or July, whether it's Stenberg or McKenna, having another one of these guys to grow alongside of these talented pieces, it does make me very excited for what the future could bring. And then you talk about Braden Coots, then you talk about next year Landon Dupont. Yeah, okay, next year, but that's what we have to pay attention to, right? I already suffered through at least one decade of being a Canucks fan, getting excited for Olli Juolevi and Brock Besser to become what they became. Brock Besser, awesome leader right now. And I'm super excited to see what a guy like Zeev Buium looks like 10 years from now as well. I'm 1.5 decades through being a Canucks fan, and I have no plans to stop. I know a lot of y'all in the comment section of this video will let me know that you've been a Canucks fan for even more decades, and yes, with more decades of Canucks fandom comes more decades of disappointment, but still, I want to choose to be positive about the future, right? And by all accounts, it looks like there are a number of guys on the team that are helping that positivity shine through. So, even though it might not be in the short-term future, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Canucks fans, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I want you to tell me how you feel about all this young guy prospect stuff, the veterans that want to be here. How does this all make you feel? Let me know in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sign on, and bye.